The second portion of that comment is agenda item 9F, which is a resolution regarding the line of credit. The recommendation is to obtain the line of credit offered by SunTrust. Do I have a motion to that effect?
So moved.
Motion is made by Mr. Wilson. Do I have a second?
I second.
Second. Does anybody have any comments on it?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes?
If I may interrupt, I want to make certain that the motion includes the borrowing amount as well, which is being recommended at $1.5 million.
$1.5 million.
Yes, that's included in my motion, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? It is passed unanimous. Thank you very much. Bob, thank you very, very much for all the work. The next item on the agenda is item 9G. It's a resolution regarding the rental of office space. We're going to have Phil Douglas make the report of the staff.
Make sure I'm on here. You can all hear me? Thank you. The process of finding a place, I would call it a temporary place for the village council to reside and to conduct meetings, was a process that was looked at for the last 18 months. We looked at commercial space available in Estero. And in addition to looking at commercial space, we also looked at a facility that is right here in Estero. It's the Estero Fire District Administration Building. After looking carefully at this, it is the decision of the Transition Committee to recommend that the Village Council approve an interlocal agreement with the Estero Fire District. Now, Scott Vanderbrook is here, and I'm going to let him come up and answer specific questions. But let me say to you that the Board of Commissioners of the Estero Fire District passed this unanimously. Chief Vanderbrook negotiated the local agreement. And by any stretch of the imagination, it's an absolute bargain. It is a bargain. When you can, this is a one-year agreement. We know that eventually the village is going to have what I call a more permanent facility. But this is going to cost the village $1,380 a month for approximately between 1,750 and 1,800 square feet, 5 office spaces that they're willing to share with us. And that's a grand total of about $16,560 a year. If you can find rental space that's any better than that, you're going to have to look long and hard in Estero for that. Anyhow, they have for those of you that are familiar with the Estero project, they have a wonderful meeting chamber. We're going to work with them. They've been most gracious in offering this facility, and we're going to, in addition to that, we're going to pay them, recommend that we pay them $1,000 a month to share a receptionist. So, I would recommend that the interlocal agreement that's been proposed would be something that the council would accept. Chief Vanderbrook is here, and I'm going to ask him to come up because I think he might want to shed a little more light on this. Scott?
Maybe no.
Mr. Mayor, I think it would be good if the chief explained what several of us who visited the facility saw, and you could detail what what uses the council could put to the various facilities over there.
Absolutely. Good evening. Congratulations to you all. I apologize for us being late. We're fighting a very large brush fire out east. We have 7 different fire departments there right now, so that's why we weren't here for the beginning of this. But we've been working with the ECCL for over a year now. Actually, I've been working with the ECCL for about 7 years since I've been the fire chief and anything that goes on in the community, and it's been a great group to work with. And when they approached us in the transition team and started looking for a place, and we said, well, we have an administrative building that we built for future growth for Estero Fire Rescue, and we have some areas that are available. We have 5 office spaces and cubicles, plus our large meeting facility that would be great for their use. Each one of the council members was gracious enough to come and meet with me for a little bit, and I was able to show them the facility and what we have. Basically, all they have to do is show up and go to work. Some of their computers arrived today. You know, there's desks, there's phones, there's paper. It's a great opportunity just to show up and get right to work tomorrow without having to buy a lot of that infrastructure. And I think it's the best government to government that you can do. And when you can work with another government, like we do with all the other fire departments and EMS and government agencies, it really is a win-win for the taxpayer because you're using your own taxpayer dollars to work with another government agency. Nothing to take away from the private industry, but right now it's a good government-to-government relationship, and we're really looking forward to them coming to work with us. Peter was able to come by and have a meeting there already yesterday. Even though he hasn't signed the agreement yet, we let him in and take a look at the facilities, and I think it's going to be great for a temporary period. So if you have any questions, comments?
I would like to make
Yes.
Scott, I think you and the fire department should be highly commended for the great job. It was extremely professionally done. You even worked on the website and the IT system. And I strongly have to compliment the great work that you and the fire people did, and also the fire commissioners who allowed us to come in and have some good quality temporary space for the council.
We thank you. You know, we pride ourselves in being the best, and this is just another avenue of making sure that we're working with the community for everybody's best needs. And our commissioners really, you know, allowed me to move forward with this, and it's a great gesture. Questions or comments? And I'll have my assistant chief talk about the IT stuff. We do have a lot of stuff already set up for you to get going. Questions?
Thank you very much, Scott.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Scott.
Are there any comments from the audience, please? Seeing none, there is a recommendation on the floor for approving an interlocal agreement between the Estero Fire Rescue District for the rental of office space. Do I have a motion to that effect?
So moved.
Moved by Katie Harrington, seconded by Jim Bosch.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
just a comment. This proposal is a tribute to government light. For us to be able to rent a facility and move in for $1,400 a month is really a tribute to the concept of government light. So
I think we
strongly support it.
I think we all appreciate it, but we shouldn't say so much about it before we negotiate it with them. We have a second on the floor. All those in favor of the resolution, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The motion passes unanimously, and thank you very, very much.
That's terrific.
The next item on our agenda is item 9H. It's the resolution establishing temporary meeting dates, times, and locations for the council meetings and workshops. I guess, Bert, can you present that? Or do you want me to do it, or?
No, I think that at this point, you have a resolution or a list of meeting dates, a resolution with those dates. And of course, everything is subject to change at the pleasure of the council, but right now you have an organizational workshop scheduled for March 20th at 10 a.m. And then on March 27th, you have a council meeting scheduled at 10 a.m. with a workshop scheduled at 1:30. On April 3rd, you have a council meeting scheduled for 10 a.m. with a workshop at 1:30. And on April 10th, you have a council meeting at 10 a.m. with a workshop at 1:30. All of these meetings will take place at the Estero Fire Station, and there'll be an agenda developed by the village manager for each of those workshops and each of those council meetings. So this would be simply an indication that that's your initial schedule, but that schedule is subject to change at any time that you folks are meeting to discuss that.
For the audience, for your sake, these dates have been set aside so that we have a tentative schedule to go forward. They will be posted on the website that we will talk about in a few minutes, and they will also be posted at the fire headquarters. We intend at the first meeting, which is this coming Friday, to have organizational matters. One of them will be to do the schedule for the rest of the year, and we'll post that also. Yes.
May I comment that April 3rd is Good Friday? Are we aware that April 3rd is Good Friday in most state and federal and even the county commission close offices during that date? So,
Very good point, and the council may want to strike that day from this
yes,
list.
I make a motion, we strike that date, April 3rd, because it's Good Friday.
Okay, do I have a second to that motion?
So moved.
Just by way of comment, we do have some important business that has to take place that week, and we'd like to get it done as soon as possible. So I would suggest that we reschedule that meeting to the 2nd and see if that will work for the Estero Fire and Rescue. We do have at least 2 resolutions planned for second readings on that date.
Okay, I think that the best thing I think at this point would be to leave it, since we do not know if the availability of the meeting room for that date, and I don't think you have the schedule with you, can we set it tentatively for April 2nd?
Yes.
And then we can make a change on that at our meeting, our workshop coming up, we can check it out.
Yes, sir. We'll change the resolution to reflect that that meeting will be on April 2nd as opposed to April 3rd.
Are there any comments from the audience? Yes, sir.
You're going to need to come to the microphone.
Right. And everybody who testifies, you should ask their names.
Yes, and if you would,
My name is Richard.
State your name for the record also, if you would.
Richard Abrams from Grandeza. As I understand it correctly, the board or the council will be meeting this Friday at 10 o'clock, if I heard that correctly?
There'll be a workshop.
A workshop. I was just wondering if the council is aware that the Collier and Lee County Metropolitan Planning Organization is holding a meeting at 10 o'clock on Friday concerning 951 as well.
We are aware of it, and at this point, we have not been given a seat on the MPO. That is in process, but we haven't gotten it yet.
Okay, well, my question was, would any of the council members be attending that session? And it sounds like the answer would be no.
I don't think so, sir.
Okay.
Any other questions from the audience? We have a recommendation for the temporary meeting dates, times, and locations for the council meetings as amended. Do I have a motion to approve that?
I make a motion to approve the amended.
Approved by Mr. Bosch. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Brown. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Passes unanimously. I'm sure this is not going to be this easy a few months from now. Next item on the agenda is item 9I. It's a resolution authorizing the interim manager to make individual purchases of up to $5,000 individually with a cumulative total of purchases not to exceed $25,000 before receiving further authorization for the village council. just as an informational piece, this would be normally covered under a budget if it was in place and approved. We have not approved a budget yet. We will be working on that shortly, but in order that we can allow our village manager to start operating and taking care of things that need to be done, we are asking for this authorization. Bob, do you have any comments on that? Any further comments to clarify that? Okay. Do we have any questions from the council? Do we have any comments from the audience? Seeing none, I will ask for a motion to approve the resolution authorizing the interim village manager to make individual purchases of up to $5,000 with a cumulative total not to exceed $25,000 before receiving further authorization from the village council. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Brown moves the motion, seconded
Second.
by Mr. Ribble. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? It is passed unanimous. Thank you very much.